12th Zoology, Chapter 2. Topic is gametogenesis. What do you mean by gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes, that is, sperm and ovum. That is not ovary, just write, strike out that one, write ovum. So, gametogenesis means process of forming gametes, that is because of gametogenesis. Which organs are involved for this gametogenesis means primary sex organs. In human being, male is the one testes and female is the one ovary. Here, the meiosis plays the most significant role in the process of gametogenesis. What do you mean by meiosis? Meiosis means reduction divisions. So, as we have 46 chromosomes in our cells, so that chromosomes, when it is transferred to the next generations, it will be half in number by the process called as a meiosis. Next, we'll see spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is a sequence of events in the seminiferous tubules. In the seminiferous tubules of testes. So, as we had discussed in the last class, so seminiferous tubules we are seen. The seminiferous tubules produce male gametes. So, where does the male gametes produce? The testes. Inside the testes, there will be a seminiferous tubules will be there. In that area, the male gametes will be produced. That male gametes, name called as a sperm. During development, the primordial germ cells migrate into testes and become immature germ cells called sperm mother cells. Sperm mother cells, or we can call as a spermatogonia. So what happens here during development stage, the primordial germ cells, yes, they move into the testes and they become as a immature germ cells. That's germ cells only we call as a mother cells or spermatogonia. That is present in the inner surface of the seminiferous tubules. That is present in the inner surface of the seminiferous tubules. The spermatogonia begins to undergo mitotic divisions. When it is undergo for the mitotic divisions means at puberty and continue throughout its life. When they undergo for the spermatogonia begins to undergo for the mitotic divisions from puberty onwards, and it will end throughout life. The next one we'll see how the stages will occur here. So this is the process of spermatogenesis diagram where you can understand easily. In this one, the first stage of spermatogenesis, the spermatogonia migrate to among the Sertoli cells. The spermatogonia just they migrate means just move among Sertoli cells towards the central lumen of the seminiferous tubules. The spermatogonia just they move among the Sertoli cells in the center of the seminiferous tubules, and there they become modified and enlarged to form primary spermatocytes. Primary spermatocytes. The primary spermatocytes are diploid in nature. What is diploid? They have 23 pairs of chromosomes. That is we call as a diploid nature. In single we can say 46 chromosomes. Some of the primary spermatocytes undergo first meiotic divisions to form secondary spermatocytes. Here this spermatogonia just they move among the Sertoli cells and they undergo for the mitotic divisions and they form a primary spermatocytes. The primary spermatocytes they undergo for the first stage of meiosis. First stage of the meiosis 1 to form secondary spermatocytes. So these secondary spermatocytes they are applied stage. They are applied stage, which means applied means only 23 chromosomes will be there, not 46 chromosomes. Whereas here primary spermatocytes, there 2n will be there. 2n means diploid. Here the 46 chromosomes will be there. The primary spermatocytes, once it is undergone for the meiosis 1, they form a secondary spermatocytes. Here single n will be there, which means single n means that's an applied set of applied chromosomes. Okay, here 23 chromosomes only will be there. The secondary spermatocytes undergo a second meiotic divisions. Secondary spermatocytes undergo secondary meiotic divisions to produce four applied spermatids. To produce four applied spermatids. Can you see these are the four applied spermatids? Okay, so this is what the process of spermatogenesis. Here what happens, once the secondary spermatocytes undergo second meiotic divisions, they produce four applied spermatocytes. So these spermatocytes, these spermatids, we can say, these spermatids are transformed into mature spermatozoa. That is, we call as a sperm. Can you all see this is the structure of sperm? And they become as a mature spermatozoa, that is, we are the sperms. So by this process, is called as a spermatogenesis. This process only we call as a spermatogenesis. How the sperms have been formed, that process only we call as a spermatogenesis. Here next one, the sperms are finally released into the cavity of seminiferous tubules by the process called as a spermiations. Spermiations. What is our spermiations? The sperms just released into the cavity of seminiferous tubules. That is we call as a spermiations. Here the whole process of spermatogenesis takes about 64 days. How many days? 64 days will take place here. Next page, you can, if your textbook, you can go through the textbook. Here, this is the one. 64 days. The process of spermatogenesis takes place. One word they'll ask you, take your textbook, just underline 64 days. At the given time, different regions of the seminiferous tubules contain spermatocytes in different stages of development. The sperm's productions remain nearly constant at the rate of about 200 million sperms per day. Underline this one, they'll ask you 200 million sperms per day will be produced. The next is the one, spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty. When does it start? Means at the age of puberty, and is initiated due to the increase of one hormones. That hormones is called as a GnRH hormones. What is GnRH? Gonadotropin releasing hormones. Which these hormones are released by hypothalamus. They'll ask you one word. The GnRH are released by dash. One word, important one word, you can note it down. And GnRH act on the anterior pituitary glands. So GnRH are produced by hypothalamus. So where do they act? They act on the anterior part of the pituitary glands, and they stimulates two types of gonadotropins. What are two types of gonadotropins? FSH, LSH. Sorry, FSH and LH. What is FSH? Follicle stimulating hormones. That is we call as a FSH. Then what is LH? Luteinizing hormones. So now we'll see what are the functions of FSH. So this FSH stimulates testicular growth and enhance the productions of androgen binding proteins. That is because ABP by the Sertoli cells, and helps in the process of spermiogenesis. Next, just mark it out, this one, 2 marks. What are the functions of FSH? They'll ask you, just mark it out. The next one, LH. LH acts on the Leydig cells and stimulates the synthesis of testosterone, which in turn stimulates the process of spermatogenesis. Okay, and next topic is the one. So here, this is the structure of sperms. You can see the spermatogonia cells, Sertoli cells, primary spermatocyte cells, secondary spermatocytes, then spermatids you can see, spermatozoa also you can see. The next one, structure of human sperm. Structure of human sperm. And this is the structure of human sperm. I'll show you here. So this is the structure of human sperm. You can have a look at in your textbook. So these sperms only produce in the testis. How it is produced only so far we have seen, that is we call as a spermatogenesis. The structure of sperms we'll see now. The human sperm is a microscopic one. Human sperm is the one microscopic one, and flagellated and motile gamete. Motile means what? The sperms can move here and there. That is because of motile gametes. The whole body of the sperm is enveloped by plasma membrane. So this whole body of the sperm is covered. That's because they say as a envelope covered by plasma membrane. Underline this one, and is composed of a head, neck, and tail. Can you all see? Composed of head, neck, and tail region. Okay, now we'll see one by one. Head part we'll see. The head comprises of two parts, namely acrosome and nucleus. Can you all see here? Acrosome and nucleus. We'll see acrosomes. Acrosomes is a small cap-like pointed structure present at the tip of the nucleus and is formed mainly from Golgi body of spermatids. Here, this acrosome they contain hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase. That's one type of enzymes. This is a proteolytic enzymes. That enzyme's name called as a proteolytic enzymes. So it is popularly known as sperm lysine. What is lysine? Lysine means break. What this hyaluronidase going to break? The sperm lysine, which helps to penetrate the ovum during fertilizations. So here the hyaluronidase, which presents the chromosomes on the tip of the body, they are used for the lysine, sperm's lysine, which helps to penetrate. Penetrate means enter the ovum during fertilizations. The nucleus is flat. Next one is the one nucleus is a flat and oval shape. The next one is the one neck. Neck is very short and is present between the head and middle piece. And it contains proximal centriole towards a nucleus which play a role in the first divisions of zygote. And distal centrioles, the proximal centriole will be there. They'll ask you what are the functions of proximal centriole, and they'll ask you what are the functions of distal centriole. Just mark it out. The distal centriole give rise to axial filaments of the sperm. Here, axial filament of the sperm. Okay, axial filament of the sperms. The middle piece possesses mitochondria. The middle piece they possesses mitochondria, which are spirally twisted around the axial filaments, called mitochondrial spiral or Naban-Kahn. They'll ask you one word. Naban can define Naban-Kahn. So means mitochondrial spiral only they call as a Naban-Kahn. Underline. Just mark it as an important one word also, as well as 2 marks also very important. They'll ask you. So it produces energy from the form of ATP. Which one is Naban-Kahn? They produce energy in the form of ATP molecules for the movement of sperms. So next is the one tail is the longest part of the sperm and is slender and tapering one. It is formed as central axial filaments or axonium and an outer protoplasmic sheath. The lashing movements of the tail pushes the sperms forward. The human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during coitus means sexual reproductions. During reproductions. It is estimated that around 60% of sperms must have a normal shape, which at least 40% must show vigorous motility for normal fertility. So these are the structure of sperms. So far we have seen structure of sperms. The next also we have seen spermatogenesis. What is spermatogenesis we have seen. Then what is gametogenesis also we have seen. Just go through today itself. Okay, if you have any doubt you can contact me through WhatsApp. Okay, bye. Take care.